Hello, dear friends. It is another episode of our rain retreat Dhamma Talk series. Last couple of times, I was trying to talk about something on mindfulness practice in certain topics, and I had an invitation actually to talk about one of the biggest problem in the world. It is called why are we jealousy, and how do we get rid of the jealousy. So today I'm trying to say about the topic of jealousy. As a normal human being, we all have the rights to do things, whatever we want. But unfortunately, sometimes, maybe most of the time, maybe less, we are covered with some certain rules. We have barriers because of the cultural. We call it cultural barriers. But as humans, we can do things, and sometimes we can create things too. When we do things, we do things because we wanted to be happy. But sometimes happiness has different aspects, I guess, because some people would want to laugh as happiness, but some people wanted to cry to be happiness. Some people happy when they laugh, some people happy when they cry. Or maybe some people like to see people laugh. At that time they happy, but sometimes some people would like to see other people cry to be themselves happy. In this world, people have very different opinions and different feelings. Sometimes people would like to see others succeed, and they appreciate, but unfortunately most of the people in the world, they don't want to see others succeed. Most of the time people don't like to see other people succeeding. That is called jealousy. According to the Buddhism, that jealousy thing is actually, it's very dangerous, because it can affect in this life and afterlife too. In Buddhism, reincarnation is, we believe in lot, or I could say we certain that we will reborn again until we get enlightened as Arahant. So as topic, that jealousy things can make uncomfortable in this life, in this very life. Like if someone who has jealousy, they don't get any friends around. So if you have not any friends, so that means you could have the jealousies. So this jealousy things, how affect in afterlife is, they explain in Chulakama Vibhanga Sutta. The jealousy people can born again most of the time in hell or as an animal. So that is a danger of the jealousy mind and jealousy acting too. The jealousy things, I think, can create or can expose to the world not only inside the mind but as a word and as a works too, as a deed too. For example, like if I have jealousy towards you, maybe I can say something showing that I am jealous on you. Similarly like that. So when we act like that, we 100% not in under control in our watch, but defilements are already controlling us. So to get rid of this problem, to get rid of this habit, I could say the bad habits, what should we do? That's what we need to practice about mindfulness. And how do we practice mindfulness to gain or to overcome jealousy? So in mindfulness practicing, it's talk about the present moment. I mean, what are you doing right now is the topic or the base. So when you practicing mindful, you can be mindful in 4 categories according to the Buddhism. One is about your body. Second one is about feelings. Third one is about your mind or thoughts. Fourth one is your livelihood. You can be mindful in these 4 areas. You can practice that. When you start to practice mindfulness, you should try to practice easiest things first. Easiest things first. Don't touch very hard topics and hard things first. It can create a big problem later. So anyway, when you're practicing mindfulness, you can understand when you do things that you are doing it, When you see things, that you are seeing it. When you are hearing, that you are hearing. And when you are feeling, yes, when you feel. Or when you are thinking, that you are thinking. So when the jealousy states comes up to your mind, or when you have jealousy thoughts, most of the time we don't recognize them. Because of that reasons, that jealousy thoughts can create a verbal effect, or the bodily effect, I could say. So that is a bigger problem for the people who don't have mindfulness. But when we mindful, we can understand that I have jealousy feelings or jealousy thoughts, or now I am talking with jealousy. Now I am working with jealousy feelings or with jealousy attitude. So when you realize, or when you understand that you have a defilement going on right now, you can control it. You can do the things, you will understand that you can do the things without jealousy attitude too, without jealousy feelings too. In the world, we can work with defilements, and we can learn how to work without defilements too. For example, you can talk in anger, and you can talk with friendliness too, or with love. It is like that. So when you mindful, if you understand that you have jealousy feelings or jealousy thoughts, that is a very good quality, I could say, because it is the starting point most of the time. Or perhaps sometimes we could not touch it inside our mind, or wherever, inside our thoughts. But when you realize that you are talking or working or doing things with jealousies, at the time, if you are become mindful, you can aware that you have a very bad habits going on right now. When you see your bad things, or when you see your defilements, they can't work further, because they don't have energy, because you do not create that energy. The defilements are not alone, it is working with us. The energy for the defilements are giving us actually. It doesn't come from the nature, it is come from us. So when we realized that we have defilements as jealousy, we can stop putting energy towards them, energy on them. In that way, we can see those kind of jealousy feelings starting going to fade away, little by little, bit by bit. And those practice will make you much happiness. In Buddhism says it is nibbana, enlightened. In one hand, we most of the time talk about enlightened, but very less understanding what is enlightened. So when you are with defilements, that is the time you already suffering, and what you want to do, or when you become enlightened means you don't have that suffering, which means that enlightened isn't far away thing, it is nearby you. When you have defilements, and you are not happy, or you are not in happiness, but when you understand that you have those kind of defilements, at that time you can understand what is the suffering is and what is the enlightened meaning is. So those things are come together actually, and the key point is practicing mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, we can understand what's going on right now inside our life and outside the world as well, outside from us, or what we do for the others. And after we realized, if we do certain things with defilements, those kind of things can create the problems for us, not for us, but for the old people, but for the old people, not only old, but old people, everybody. So after we understanding that we have defilements, or the wrong things, wrong deeds or works, or the attitudes, or the ideas or visions, we can stop, give energy to create more troubles, or we can stop creating those defilement effect in our life. That's how we are becoming enlightened. So you can have jealousy when you don't realize about yourself. The jealousy thing can create you more unhappiness in your life, and more troubles to you. But if you do so, when you be mindful, you can get rid of these very bad habits forever. And I wish to all of you to be free from your suffering when you understand that you have these sufferings or these defilements. And how do we do that? When we practice mindfulness, or when we try to stay in present moment. And this is the today talk. If you have any suggestions or comments, please write us. And as usual, I wanted to say I am still learning to talk in English, and I think I'm learning more. I'm really appreciate that, and thanks for listening, and see you next time.